You know?
Now trust me, we'll have more than enough to talk about.
Let's go.
What's up, fight fans? Chris here, Combat Loop MMA. We have Knuckles to Knives, one of my men that we always are bringing back, one of my good friends, and hopefully we meet up very, very soon. What's up, dude? How's it going?
What's up, my brother? Thank you for having me, bro. I really appreciate it.
Well, we just got out of Palm Desert, California, BKFC 84. I mean, we saw a couple magnificent fights. We saw a Mongolian warrior come out. We saw a couple of our friends. I say friends because we become close with these people and they become like friends. We talk to them and text with them. Man, that BKFC card was really, really good. What did you think about it?
Man, it was an absolute spectacle. I feel like all these numbered cards just turn out to be like a movie scene, man. And I have such a high going into these cards, bro, and as they're going on, and then once it's all done, once Sunday comes around, I just feel like this like almost like this come down from the card, bro. I don't know if you get that feeling too, you know?
Yes, sir. No, there's no doubt. I don't like it. It's like you're like a drug addict and you get a drug and it's like, hey, dude,
Yeah.
I need some more of it. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same way. I was hard because you were streaming. I'm like, yeah, I want to stream, and then I'm having the UFC fights on one TV. I have the BKFC on the other TV, and if I show you my setup, like the main TV is like I got an 80-incher. I got a big TV. BKFC is on the main. That's my main, and then I got the side girl over here, the UFC, which it was a good card, but we're not here to talk about the UFC. It was good stuff going on. I'm here to talk about the BKFC. I'm here to talk about the Juggernaut's return. I'm here to talk about Vidal out there looking like a crazy man until the last seconds of fights. And then the first, it was too much chaos going on. I kind of was more invested. It's hard for me because I get so invested. We keep talking about this investing that we do in these fighters, but you get to know these guys, and it's like it's really hard. And I don't know how I'm going to look on a live stream with you as I'm watching these fights that I consider my friends. I'm like, it's hard. It's hard to do. So, man, let's start with the main event: the return of Juggernaut versus D-Day Dwyer. Dyer. What do you think about it, man? What did you think about the fight?
Oh man, you know what? That was a great fight as well. The return of the most electrifying man in combat sports. That's what I like to call him, Lorenzo
Ain't
Hunt.
no champ until
Ain't
I
no
say
champ.
there's a champ.
Ain't no champ, baby. Ain't no champ. Yeah, man, he looked like, he had a little bit of ring rust in the beginning. He'd been out for since 2024. It seemed like he was kind of just feeling it out in there, and Josh took advantage, bro. He got those quick two knockdowns, woke the Juggernaut right up, man, and it was like Juggernaut was fighting for his life in there for a minute. Once he threw that overhand right, bro, it was good night, man. You know?
Yeah, it was a perfectly timed right hand, and it hit him right where it needed to hit. And this is a couple things I'll tell you in that fight. Juggernaut looked like he's still there at 43 years old. He's 43 years old, dude. It makes
Yeah.
me at 41 feel like I can go knock a couple people out. So I'm feeling pretty good for one. Two, Josh Dyer looked like a world beater. He looked like he was there to finish business. And I think, like, in the beginning of the fight, if Josh would have caught him with a couple more clean hits, I don't know what the fight would have happened. I don't know what would have happened. I don't know what would have happened if it would have gone to the next round as the composure happens. But Juggernaut composed himself, and I knew after the second knockdown, I was saying it to myself like, Josh, you're going to get overconfident. Juggernaut was clapping when he got up. He was clapping. I could see he was completely there after that second knockdown. The first knockdown, I thought he was kind of hurt. I thought he was kind of wobbled. The second knockdown, Juggernaut's right back into it. And I just knew, like Dave Feldman said, he's like, he's going to get knocked out. He said he was going to get knocked out. I just saw it. I saw it over pursuit. The hands were down, and you can't do that. And he got caught. Hats off to Juggernaut. Hats off to Dyer. I think Dyer fights that whole fight. I think is a little bit different than the first fight. I thought Josh Dyer has nothing but the ceiling in front of him. And man, I really want to see another fight now. It makes me want to see that fight again.
Man, yeah, you can't count out Lorenzo though. I don't know if you've seen that clip of how they put the two fights
With
above each other.
Richmond?
Yeah, the Richmond, and it's the exact same thing, man.
Exact same.
Both guys got the knockdown, and then they just approached a little too aggressive, and Lorenzo caught him, bro. You can't count out Lorenzo, man. You just can't. You know,
Hey,
he
let me tell you, you know what stops that from happening? You know what happens when you're doing that? When you have someone hurt and you know what happens? You faint. In a faint, you pump and he'll throw his big shot. And after he throws that big shot, you're open. It's all open because when someone's hurt, you can't keep going in. That person's wounded and they're fighting for their lives. You just can't over pursue. It's one of
yeah.
those things in fighting, man. And you see it a lot when people get hurt. They'll fall back and they go against in the UFC. They'll fall back against the ring and they catch people. Not all the time, but you do see wounded animals almost at just so dangerous when you're wounded.
Man, but I gotta say though, if it just goes to show, man, that these mind games before the fight, they can play a part in the actual
Oh,
fight. Because like even look at leading up to this fight, Lorenzo stayed on the gas the whole time. He was talking shit. No matter how much Josh was showing respect to him, Lorenzo was talking shit. And then look at the weigh-ins. Josh came in and he was so heated. He
he's
couldn't
mad.
wait. Yeah, he couldn't wait to get his hands on him. And then when he got in the ring, same thing. And you could see the way he fought. He just wanted to kill him, bro. He wanted to
Yeah.
kill him, you know?
Not being he fought like a man possessed, and it's all right to do that, but you have to use your brain. Fighting is not just muscles, it's not just technique, it's everything blended into one. And I think that Josh has learned another lesson in fighting. I think he was Juggernaut said he was the better man that night. He just caught him, and I don't know if I necessarily where I agree with it or disagree with it because the better who knows where the better man was that night, but Juggernaut did catch him, and man, it was a fight. Hats off to both men. They're both men are just amazing athletes, and
Absolutely.
it was a hell of a fight. It was a fun fight to watch. We as fans get privileged to watch it. Let me ask you about your boy up there in Canada, Steve,
Ooh,
Stuvie.
yeah.
Stuvie. Now,
Ooh.
Wild Boy, I've been kind of talking with him for a little bit. He's been wanting to get in there into the America scene. I think he kind of showed out there against Zeb. What do you think about your Canadian brother?
Man, I'm super proud of Drew. Super excited that he made his US debut and what a debut it was, man. You know what? It was a great performance. Great performance by both guys, to be honest. Zeb showed a lot of heart in there. He wouldn't go
Really?
down. Drew clipped him with a lot of big shots, and Zeb was just too tough for his own good, you know. But I know Zeb kind of thinks he won that fight, but to be honest, like I think the judges got that one right, man.
Yeah, we were kind of talking back and forth. I knew, like in the fourth round, I thought Drew was up 3-1. I think that's what I texted you. Right? I think I texted
Yeah,
he was or he was
yeah.
up. I think he was up 4 rounds. Whatever I told you, it wound up being 2 out of 3 judges said the exact same thing I did. So we kind of saw it the same way. Zeb's defense is really weird. His hands, when he holds his hands up like that way, it makes it really hard for you to get a clean connection. I want to talk to him about that defense, and I want to talk to Drew about it because it's not a Philly shell by any means, but he was turning with those punches. I really want to break down that fight and see how many really landed super clean and didn't roll. Like, when fighters fight with the Philly shell, they roll with punches and they roll. I really want to see if how many he caught him with. I know he caught him with a couple because he was hit towards the end of the fight, but I thought he was hitting him with I thought he was whacking him during the fight, and I
Yeah.
think he was rolling with a lot of those punches. But I mean, honestly, Drew's boxing when I was watching him, he is so crisp and clean, and I really enjoy watching him get down like that, man. So I was hats off to him, hats off to Zeb. It was a great fight. It was a dog fight, great co-main event. We were calling it all week. I called it all week. Fight of the night. I thought that was going to be the fight of the night. Uh, it turned out to be a great fight.
Yeah, you know what? That was another weigh-in face-off that was super electric. You know, they got into it in the weigh-in, and I had the privilege of having Zeb on the podcast before this fight, and he said one of his big inspirations growing up, a fighter that he really looked up to was Nate Diaz. And man, you could tell in there that he had that Nate Diaz flow in there, that Nate Diaz swag, man. You could see it for sure.
Hell yeah, man. I liked it. He going home in a body bag, motherfucker. I was like, oh shit. I mean, I really like that. And listen, bro, I'm all for that banter. I'm all for it. I think it sells fights, and you better feel like that way. If me and you were going into a fight, dude, I can't not be your best friend. That's just the way it is. We're at
Yeah.
the end of it. Guess what? We can talk and we can be friends, but at that point, yeah, we're fighting. We're fighting each other. So let's talk about the featured fight, which was the one I was really excited to see. Aspen Ladd versus Cheyenne. I thought Cheyenne, man, she's a beautiful woman. So I'm looking at her, and then I'm like, can she fight or not? And of course, we all know that Cheyenne can fight. She's a beast. I have a lot of respect for Cheyenne. I thought Aspen Ladd is a little bit higher caliber fighter, and I thought that Cheyenne was going to learn a lot from this fight with Aspen Ladd, and definitely she did. That Aspen Ladd showed levels in this fight. What do you think about that fight?
I think she had a great performance, and shout outs to Cheyenne. She's a great fighter.
Great fighter.
She had a great knockout in her last performance at Sturgis. Um, but yeah, Aspen just showed there's levels to it, man. The way she was mixing in the body work with the head work in that fight, bro, it was beautiful to watch, up, down the whole time. And yeah, just Cheyenne just really had nothing for her, man. And to
Yeah,
be honest, Aspen looked big in there, bro. She
yeah,
looked
she looks
big.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
talked to Cheyenne. I talked to Cheyenne yesterday, and I told her how proud I was of her, and she said she'll be back. She'll be better than ever. And man, Cheyenne is an animal. I when I first saw her, I'm like, this beautiful woman. Like when I first saw her on the scene, I'm like, she is really pretty, and can she fight? And then I see the knockout, like you said, I'm like, oh shit, this girl can get
mhm.
down. And I thought that she would give Aspen Ladd a little bit more of a run, but I'm telling you, like, I think Aspen Ladd is already a top 5 opponent in the division. And then she could go 135, 145. But I knew that this was a super hard task with having Aspen Ladd, even with that knockout.
Now what's next for Aspen Ladd? Does she fight? I think she should fight Jessica Borga next, bro.
Woo! All right, so we have a coin flipper here, right? Coin flipper. We have Aspen Ladd versus two people. The two people, Misfit, Christine Ferreira, and Jessica Borga, which the Black Widow, you have that one too. I know. We're both right there, bro. I am 50-50. I honestly am 50-50 with it. I think that Aspen Ladd can make 135, 145, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. I want to see both. I want to see both.
She just fought at 145, and Christine did get that win over Jessica Borga. I think Aspen Ladd should honestly fight Jessica Borga. But you know what? I wouldn't be mad if it was Christine Faria at all. But let me ask you, what about Drew Stuvie? I got a name in
Who
mind
he
for
should
him.
fight?
Yeah, I got a name in mind, and I don't know if you'll agree with this one. He hasn't fought in a little bit. He fought Redneck in his last fight. I think Drew Stuvie should fight Donald Sanchez next, man.
I would be super down with Donald Sanchez. I think that's a really good fight for him. I actually Moses, the last if you watch the Michigan fight, he had
Yeah,
the knockout of the night.
yeah.
I would
Casey
like to
Moses.
see Moses is another one. Moses actually lost to Zeb, and I think that would be a really, really good fight at that weight in that weight class. I think Moses coming off that win in Michigan and with the knockout of the night, I think he's you can tell he leveled up in his fighting skills. He's one of those guys I would really, really like to see fight a higher level opponent. And I think Stuvie's right there. I think Stuvie's right on the cusp of being in that top class of fighters. So, and I think Moses is too. So there's a couple of those guys, but there's so many fighters in that division. If you look at the rankings, which I don't have the rankings in front of me, but I want to see who I think that Drew could beat in the top 5 because I think he really gives people in the top 5 some real heavy trouble, some real heavy problems. Personally, like I just think his boxing. I think his boxing's a real issue. I think his boxing's a real problem for people inside the division. The reason is because like you have MMA fighters that come in and they do clinch work, some stuff, but they didn't box their whole careers. Some of these guys have boxed. I mean, I was talking to Drew about karate combat. He's like, bro, I've never thrown a kick. I can't do that. I was like, what about karate combat? He's like, hell no, I can't do it. I'm like, it's easy to kick. It's like, bro, I'm not kicking. I'm not starting now. Like, I understand. I mean, I get it. I think he would be good at anything he did, but he's just you can tell with his boxing. Um, who's in the top 5? Who's the top 5
Yeah, I'm
for
just looking at it now. So Yeah, it's interesting. Now that I see the top five, there is some other names that could potentially fight him. And now that Donald Sanchez is sitting at number one, you got
Yep.
Marcus Edwards, who's been out for quite a while
Yeah.
too, and that's another tactical beast, man. And you know what? That wouldn't be a bad matchup for Drew either,
Not at all. I like
Uh,
that one.
you got Dakota Cochran, um, you got Platinum Mike Perry in that division, and you got Doug Coltrane.
All right. So you're for sure you're not gonna get Mendel and you're not gonna get Perry. So you can throw those two out because those guys are gonna that we know that
No,
those two should fight at least, right? So we have that. Now we move on to that. Outside of that, man, I just don't think a Sanchez, he's ready for a Sanchez, and I don't think he's ready for. I think coming off of that long layover, that he could do. I don't even know, man. I really don't know. I want to see
man,
him. It's just that top five. I think he gives any of those guys. I really believe he gives any of those guys in the top five a problem.
that's a heavy top five, man. But now that I looked at it, I am intrigued by the Marcus Edwards fight because I'm super impressed with Marcus Edwards too, man. That guy's an absolute beast. He's tactical in there. His boxing is slick.
He's
Um,
coming off a layoff. How long has he been layoff for?
that's a good question.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
So he fought Cochran back in April. So he's been out since April,
Yeah, not that long, but it's been. He wouldn't
and
get back until Knuckle Mania area,
he's
maybe.
pretty much got the same record as Drew. He's 4-0, right?
Oh. Yeah, and Knuckle Mania it makes sense. But how long you got? December, January, and then you got February at 3 months. I don't think you have any. I don't think you get to see anything until that time. That's where you're looking at some big matchups that you need to make. I mean, it would be great to get Stuvie into Knuckle Mania. I would really like to see something like that. But yeah, I mean, making that matchmaking stuff, it makes sense. There's some stuff that makes sense, but you also don't want to rush him in
Yeah.
because you have something. I think you have something with Drew. You have a potential champion that could blossom into it. And I don't think you want to get him into something where it's potentially,
Yeah.
where he could get injured.
And it's a
So,
quick turnaround, like you said. Knucklemania is right around the corner, bro. So, and you know what? He did just say that he was battered and bruised after this fight
oh
was at.
yeah,
He needs a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit of recovery for sure. But
yeah.
yo, let's move on to the
Oh, I already know.
Knucklemaniac.
Yeah. I already know.
The
Yeah, go ahead. Let me know. Who are
Knucklemaniac.
you talking about?
The KWO baby. Woo! Too sweet, man. What a performance by Cody Vidal. He was on the podcast with me previously as well before this fight, and he's an absolute character, man. I love that guy. He knows how to market himself. He knows what he's doing. He took an absolute shit kicking in that fight, bro, all the way up to the fifth round. David Simpson was literally hitting him with everything. Like he might as well just pulled out the frying pan and just hit him over the head with that as
Bang.
well. But he just would like Cody just kept we were texting back and forth during that fight too, and Cody would just not go down. He kept walking forward, and by the end of it, man, he timed that shot. And you could see David Simpson had lost the gas tank
Oh, he was gassed.
yeah, it was gas for sure. But in the end, no, I'm not taking any credit away from Cody, man. He still clipped him with a nice shot, finished the fight. But gas definitely played a big part in that at the ending of that fight.
Oh, now let me tell you, that fight was absolutely insane. For one, that one, I mean, can it get any better or any crazier? Because that was like right for me. It was right on the cusp of that fight of the night stuff. We were kind of talking about it. That was another fight that were like fight of the night because I already knew before the Chael Sonnen of BKFC, Vidal. He's a wild, wild guy, and I knew Simpson, man. Like I've watched Simpson over the years, and I've watched Simpson get better and better and fight some of the best fighters in BKFC. And I knew he was coming in with so much knowledge. He was a big, strong guy. Now, I will tell you something. I think Vidal doesn't have the size in that division, to be honest with you. I love the guy. He's an awesome man. I know he wants Lorenzo Hunt next. I would advise, because I do love you, man, take it down, get as low as you can get, man. 185, 170. I think that I don't know if that's even possible, but David Simpson just looked way bigger than
Yeah.
Vidal. And I think he's got so many great skills. He's such an awesome fighter. He just looks smaller. And I just don't know. I don't know where I see him in the 205 era. You know,
Yeah.
that's the
You know
only thing
what,
I
man?
say about it. I can't take shit away from him whatsoever. He just looked like a smaller guy. And when you get up against some of those bigger guys, it can get kind of nasty.
He definitely looked small, man. But David Simpson is just huge. Like
He's a big
he's
boy.
he's a monster. And you know what? I think that was the greatest comeback I've ever watched. I can't think of another comeback like that. That was an absolute crazy comeback by Cody Vidal. And you know what? Hats off to him. Super proud of him. And yeah, we'll see what happens next, man. Because like you said, he does want that Lorenzo fight. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Um, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's just I take nothing after watching that fight. I'm like, bro, that guy can knock down a wall. He can walk through a wall. So I don't think if he fought Lorenzo Hunt, I am not going to take anything away. I wouldn't say he can't win because I think that guy can beat anybody. I truly believe that. But it's got to be at a weight that it's a smart weight. And he wants to fight in the heavyweight. He wants to fight in that heavyweight tournament. He's talking about fighting in the heavyweight tournament. It's like Ben Rothwell is so big, man,
Yeah,
265, and it would just be it'd be a big guy. You're fighting a big guy, man. So I did think that was second fight for me for fight of the night. I thought that was a really, really, really. I mean, it was an awesome fight. Let's talk about the Mongolian versus Ryu.
mm,
That was a little controversial for me because I'm a big Ryan Peterson fan. I'm a big Ryu fan, dude. I really am. And I knew he got a little hurt at the beginning of it, got knocked down, but he was still there. He was talking to the judges or the ref, and he was like, "I can still fight," and they didn't even do it. Big John McCarthy, don't take nothing away from you, dog, but I think you pulled the rug a little bit early. You might have saw something I didn't see.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. It was a little quick. Anktor, the first ever Mongolian to do it in the BKFC, and you mentioned John McCarthy. I think that was John McCarthy's first BKFC
BKFC,
event.
yeah, yeah, it's his first
Yeah, right.
BKFC.
So
Yep.
yeah, I mean it's different than MMA, you know. So yeah, it
It's
was
that
a little
real
bit quick.
man shit, my man.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, it was a little bit premature for sure, but I think Anktor looked super nice in there. He brought the pressure right off the go. That's the thing, man, with the bare knuckle, bro. You got to be able to weather that storm early, you know? And
He
not
looked
not many.
way bigger than Ryu too.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Not
looked
many.
bigger.
Go ahead, sorry.
He just looked way bigger than him when I saw that one. There's a couple guys that looked a lot bigger than others.
Yeah, you know what? Another great performance by David Diaz. That was
Oh yeah, dude.
David Diaz against Justin Martinez. He's amazing to watch too, man. From the walkout, from the entrance, he's twisting his mustache. He's dancing on the way in. He's spinning G Perez around, and then he goes out and gets a great performance and has a great message after the fight too. He just shouted out all the people that are going through mental health and mental health is real and talk to people, make sure not to keep it all bottled up inside. So yeah, great message by David Diaz and great performance.
There was overall, I give it a 9.5 on a scale of 10. BKFC has come in and is just flexing every single time it drops in. It has people like me switching from the UFC to the BKFC. I'm not watching the UFC's biggest event and probably the most stacked card out there, man. Like,
Yeah.
I just wasn't watching. I was watching the BKFC. I couldn't stop watching that one. It always has me glued and kind of fixated to it. And I just think it's getting better and better. And dude, throwing them hands, you see that dude out there? That motherfucker's out at every single fucking fight. What the hell's going on, man?
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous of him. I just want to punch him now, right? Next time I see him, December 5th, maybe I might have to fight a dude because he's out there seeing all these fights. I'm like, bro, what the
Yeah.
hell, man? Eating donuts with Mohawk. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, bro. But yeah,
Super
I think,
proud of him.
yeah, I'm pretty jealous of doing it, but he's living the dream for us. He's doing the
For
things for us.
sure. For
So
sure.
we got December 5th coming up. Are you going to be at December 5th?
I will be there. I will be there December 5th, 100%.
December 5th, yeah.
Yeah.
Then December 20th, are you going to be a Connecticut card?
I want to be, bro. I want to make the next few cards for sure. This one was a
I
little
got an
bit hard for
Airbnb,
me.
dude.
Yeah. For what?
Yeah, I
For
just
the 20th?
for both.
Oh, for both.
Yeah, I just booked. I'm 5 steps from the beach and Miami for December 5th. And I think Anthony Garrett's going to be staying with me. I think I got a 3 bedroom. I got like a 7 guest Airbnb. So I'm going to be doing some stuff down there. But I'm really excited about December 5th. I'm really excited about December 20th. I got my Knuckle Mania credentials. I got to put them in. Bernie sent those to me. I just got to put them in. So I'm really, really excited about it, dude. We got nothing but good stuff coming on. And we sent over, and we're going to have to put this together. I'm going to send it to a couple guys, and we're going to put this who should fight who after this fight. I want to see who you pick, and I want to see what a couple of you other people are picking after this performance. Where Dyer should be fighting. I have my thoughts. I have my process what I think what Hunt should do next. What do I think Stubby should do next? I mean, we have all these people that we have all these things to do. Where should they be fighting? Who they should be fighting? So I think that's something we need to get to is matchmaking. So maybe we give them a little hit to the head over there at BKFC and make some of the matches we like.
Let's go. I love that. I love
What do
that,
you
brother.
think for Dyer? Hold on. I just want to know off the top of the dome. What do you think for Dyer?
For Dyer, what do I think is next for Dyer?
Yeah, man.
That's
Because he
tough.
he looked right there. He looked right there as like the best in the whole world. The best in the whole world. He looked right there.
Yeah, you
I
know
mean,
what? Uh, yeah, you got Danny Christie, possibly.
I like that one.
You got, I mean, Richmond's up there. They fought already. You got Jared Warren.
How,
That's another big one.
how much bigger is Chris Camuzzi than Dyer?
Well, he's one weight division up, right? And
Yeah, but
Dyer's big.
Dyer wants the big names. Dyer wants that stuff. I mean, I think that one's the one I've been thinking about because Dyer, I
That's
think, can go up to him, and I think it's a big name. It's a big name.
that's a good call. That's actually a good call, and that would almost be a super fight as well, you know?
That he wants super fights. He wants Mike Perry's. He wants the Dyers. He wants the big names. I really want. If listen, casual man over here. If I was being casual, Chris, we'll call me casual Chris. If I was picking Dyer versus Mundell, and then Mike Perry
Mhm.
versus Hunt. But I just don't like that. Casual Chris isn't going to let that happen. Casual
Yeah.
Chris is getting out of there, and we're going to go to super fight Chris. Dyer versus Chris Camozzi, and then Mundell versus motherfucking Mike Perry. We got to have that fight, dude.
Mondale versus Mike Perry needs to happen before anything. There is no other fight that I want Redneck to fight besides Mike Perry. The heat is there. They don't like each other. And then when it comes to the winner of that, I think the winner of that gets Lorenzo Hunt, to be honest.
The real man of violence. So then we really get to the who the and the scrub has to go. Like when Mundell fights Perry, they got to give it to that, and then it's got to be for the most violent there. It's got to be, and whoever fights for that one. I just think we're getting to that point where it needs to that belt needs to go around, and let's see if Mike Perry can carry the torch because that torch it's going to be burning bright, and whoever comes out on top of that out of that little scramble because it's a couple of them inside there that they really just need to have a most violent tournament. At this
Mm,
point, a most violent tournament would make a lot of sense. I mean, as I would be down for it.
yeah, for sure. Well, man, you got the baddest man tournament coming up. That's going to be absolutely insane. I believe that's going to be kicking off early 2026, and I can't wait for that. I'm super intrigued by this tournament. Don't know how they're even gonna decide these fights or what's gonna happen, but like you said, man, the BKFC is just doing it different, bro. Nobody can fuck with the BKFC. UFC had their biggest card of the year. And you know what? I don't know if you watched the co-main event and the main event, but that shit was brutal. Brutal to watch. I didn't enjoy that at all, you know?
I actually did watch a little bit of the main event, Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena, because Jack Della Maddalena is one of my favorite fighters pretty much of all time. He beat Bilal Muhammad. I'm not a big Bilal Muhammad fan, so way to go, JDM. But when you go out there and look like that against Islam Makhachev, like you've never wrestled a day in your life, this
Yeah.
guy is a 155-pound champ, and the smaller man came in and wrestle fucks you to the ground. I'm not a big fan of that. It showed it just wasn't my call. I was, I was 10-14 on that card for my parlay. So I do
Yeah.
pretty well. I'm a 70% shooter, bro. Like I shoot about 70%. Now, I will tell you this, because you saw my picks, and we don't talk about my picks ever. I don't ever like talking about it. You know who I
Yeah.
picked. I have a real
Yeah.
problem. You know what my problem is inside picking BKFC?
Emotions.
You can't do that. I know
Yeah.
the UFC and like all the UFC fighters because I've been around it for so long. I know them from amateurs. I know what they're going to do for the most part. Like I've been following them for so long. I've been following them since they were young, and
Yeah.
not all of them, but a lot of them. When it comes to BKFC, it's so new to me that I just let my emotions like I like this guy more than this guy. I like
Yeah.
this guy more than this guy, so I'm going to pick this guy. It was like that in a lot of picks, and I don't use my brain sometimes. Sometimes I use my heart, and I'm like, I want this person because it makes me feel good. And
Yeah.
sometimes it gets me in a bad spot, but sometimes it makes me win. Sometimes I'm like, nah, I don't see it that way. I want it, but as someone that follows it and loves it, the sport, I love it every single day. And BKFC has made it me have so much more of a, I would say, an explosion of love for combat sports.
Oh, for sure. The alien of combat sports, baby. And yeah, it's like you said, man, it's so hard to leave emotions out of gambling, especially when it comes to fighting. We've had the privilege of interviewing a lot of these guys, so it's tough, man. And you know what? That's why we don't make our picks public because I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not, it's tough. It
When it
really
comes to
is.
BKFC, that's part of why I don't do it because I
Oh,
know UFC fighters,
yeah.
and I have a way more emotional. I have way more connection with the BKFC fighters than I do with. Not saying that I don't have good relationships with the UFC fighters, but it's just a different dynamic, especially with these guys with the BKFC, and they're just good guys. And like I don't say that about the UFC. They're both really good. I just have a way more dynamic relationship with the BKFC fighters, so it doesn't make me feel as bad, and that's why I agree with you, man. Well,
For
hey,
sure.
it's good chopping it up with you, bro. I'm gonna get you the. I get you the. Let's make these posters. I want to see I want to see who you pick, who you place inside there, and let's get together and let's make this. Let's make it happen.
Send it over, brother. Let me play some matchmaking.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
do it.
match it. Let's go. Let's have a little fun, and let's
Let's
see if we
go.
can get some people involved, and let's see how much fun we can get, and let's see if we get some people riled up.
Let's go, man. I
All right, I'll
appreciate you
talk to
for
you soon,
having
man.
me.
Be
Thank
good,
you,
dude.
brother.
Yep.